Hi everyone, Stepan here. Today I'm going to play another training game, this time arranged against a guy I met recently. So we are going to play a 15 plus 15 game. Random colors, he's rated over 2000, so I know that I'm not risking a low rated opponent. As you may know, my goal is to reach 2100 on lichess classical by the end of November. So far, as you can see, I'm 2071, which is good. I have 29 more points to go. My opponent, Leo in Fabula, is 2008. He plays the French. He probably knows I play the Tarrasch, so I'm going to try to mix things up. I just don't know how. I was looking into the exchange variation and going for queenside castling, but I'm not sure I want to do that this game. I want to see what he does against the Tarrasch, actually. I want to meet him in what I know he knows I know, if that makes sense. Although I may just go for the exchange. Since I've never played it in a serious game, I think I may play the exchange French. So recently I've started employing the exchange Slav, and then one friend said, coward, exchange Slav, and then I said that should refer to the exchange French. Now if I play both the exchange Slav and the exchange French, that's really going to be horrible. But I'm going to do it. I bet he's been preparing for the Tarrasch, so I'm going to go with something a bit different. Now, the normal setup in the exchange is knight f3, bishop d3, and all that stuff. I think I'm going to play a setup with queenside castling, which starts with knight c3, because I want to see what he does against that. That's a setup I've been studying with Mate, and the point is, you play the exchange French, but you don't play the passive symmetrical position that resembles the Petrov with c3. You play knight c3, and now it's not an exchange at all. So it's completely different to what people refer to as the boring exchange French. This is now going to be opposite side castling, or the black king is going to be stuck in the center for the rest of the game, or white is going to get checkmated with b5, b4, but it's not going to be boring. Yeah, I wish I could arrange more games, because it's always nicer to play someone you know is a normal person, someone you know is rated above 2000, but I just don't have time to do that every day, because I cannot commit to any schedule and cannot commit to sticking to something, because not having an arrangement is easier psychologically. Just I'm not worried that I'm going to miss something because I have a ton of work, so it's easier to just log in and play a game. But when I have more time, I am going to be doing this. And especially when I stream, I'll just start a stream and you guys can challenge me, whoever. I mean, I'm going to accept the highest rated of you probably, but so anyway, once again, thank you for the comments in the last 4 videos. If you haven't commented yet, please let me know which time format you would like me to stream. I guess 15 plus 15 is going to prevail. And also which time in Croatian time would you like to see me stream training games. I really would like to have that information from as many of you as possible. I'm going to do a statistical analysis of your responses, and I want to please the most of you. And since you guys are from all over the world, it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to try. Okay, if I play knight f3, he's playing bishop to g4, which I don't think is a problem. I could now go bishop to f4, which is probably more active than bishop to g5, which I can't play now because the knight is not on f6. So I'm just going to go bishop f4, trying to complete my idea of castling queenside. He's preparing b5, but my position is still flexible. Okay, challenges my bishop immediately. I'm going to play queen to d2, so that my queen is developed. Taking would be a mistake, because if I take, his queen is developed, my queen is still on d1. This way, if he takes, his queen is still on d8, mine is on f4. So this is just a tempo trick with exchanges. Whenever your opponent offers an exchange, try to see if you can gain a tempo with him taking. If you can't, then fine, but if you can, always do it. Now knight f3, already looking at the e5 square. If I manage to get my knight into e5, it would already be slightly better for white. Of course, bishop d3 would be a mistake, because if he takes, I have to take with the pawn, otherwise my f4 bishop is hanging. He's waiting for me to castle queenside so that he can play b5. But now he has a problem now, and I think I know what he's thinking about. He wants to play knight b to d7, or knight to d7. Yeah, but his bishop is undefended. So now, since he wasted the tempo to move his queen, I can now take the bishop, because he achieved nothing. So now, okay. Now this is fine. Now I can go bishop d3, developing my bishop to the most active square. Now, if he plays knight f6, I'm going to castle. He can't play knight f6, the bishop is hanging. Okay. If he takes, queen takes, knight f6 castles. I don't know who is faster. He has b5, but when he plays b4, I'm going to play knight a4. And that sort of stops the attack in conjunction with my d4 pawn, because when I play b3 without a dark squared bishop, he doesn't have that much on these squares. And Mate and I, well, he's only been showing me the position briefly. We didn't really do it as we did the Prince Sicilian or some Slav and semi-Slav positions. We did it briefly, but there was one game where I commented on the exchange French, and we started discussing that, and he showed me this. I was really happy to see it. Okay, castles queenside or knight e5. He played knight to e7 to defend the bishop. He also played knight to e7, probably so that he could play f6 if I go knight e5. h3 is a very flexible move. Preparing g4, making luft, stopping bishop g4, and also waiting for him to castle first. But it is a waste of time if it's a race. So after h3, castling kingside seems much more sensible. But there's another thing in this position. Like I could take the bishop, knight takes bishop, and g4 comes with tempo. But what do I get with that? Do I have enough attack with just my queen and the knights? I don't think so. So castles, bishop takes bishop, knight takes bishop, g4. The knight goes, I'm guessing, back to e7. And then I have knight e5, I have rook e1, I have h4. So I kind of like that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to risk this game. I don't want to play a passive exchange French. I really don't. So he now has to castle. Otherwise, rook d to e1 would be devastating, pinning the knight. Also, taking the bishop would improve my queen, so and Valerio and I have been looking at these positions when we were playing in Berlin. One of his games we were preparing against the French, and he played the Tarrasch, he played the classical, I think, at some point, or he played knight c3. And I suggested this, and he said, well, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? We were looking at the positions, and it just all came naturally to white. albeit we played a position where black played knight f6 and we played bishop g5. But I think this exchange of dark squared bishops is favorable for white and even better. And even though the engine says white is not that good in these positions, of course it's much better to castle kingside than to play bishop e2, c3, blah blah blah, boring exchange French stuff. I think this is very aggressive, and there's not so many ways to exploit that. So let's imagine b5. Okay, so b5, give another move to black. b4, knight a4. Now when I place knight to c5, and you don't have your b pawn anymore on b7, my knight is going to stay there forever, or you are going to have to trade off one of your pieces for it. So I don't think black's attack is as deadly as white's. I have a knight in the attack. Ooh, okay. Does he want to castle queenside? I think he wants to castle queenside. I can agree with that plan. But now I get a free check-in. I don't know what he was thinking. So take the bishop, knight takes bishop, rook e1 check. He doesn't castle anywhere. So I think that's just a mistake. So he just misplaced his king for no reason. Now it remains to be seen where he goes. I think king d8, king c7 is the best plan. He needs to start connecting his rooks. But I have time for, unfortunately for him, I have time for rook e2, rook e1. Yeah, and I should just have more control over the e-file. Is there a better move than doubling the rooks? I don't think so. Because when I double my rooks, I'm threatening g4 and just for knight e7. And if he plays rook to e8, I can take, and his king is stuck back in the center. So maybe g4 right away to chase his knight, but then knight h6. Okay, no, let's just double the rooks. No stupid moves today. No stupid moves today. If he plays rook e8, I'll just play rook e1, and if he takes, I'm going to take with the queen to increase the control. And I'm permanently controlling the e-file. His knight on f5 is very weird piece. It's not doing anything, it's not controlling any important squares. After g4, it's just going to be left out of the position. No. I think strategically, considering piece quality, white is winning and the grandmaster would win this. Now again, I'm not saying I would win this, I'm saying a grandmaster would win this, and an engine would win it 100% of the time. Now why is that? I have the e-file, complete control. Castled king, his king is still in the center. Better pieces, his knight is on f5, doesn't have anywhere to go. So those are the reasons. And after I play rook h to e1, well, I'm going to play g4 and rook to e7. And that's almost a lost position. Yeah, I don't know. I have complete control over the board. And there's no attack for him. There's no compensation for him. I think he should get his knight into e4 and sacrifice a pawn to trade off that bad piece. But the problem is knight f6, g4, knight h6, check. And he can probably resign because I always have knight a4 check. I don't know. It's a tough position for black. I'm happy my experiment with the exchange French castling queenside went well. This is a new setup that I'm going to be playing in tournament games to annoy French players who expect the Tarrasch. So let me know what you think. Maybe you can learn this setup. I think it's a very flexible setup and you can adjust to what black is doing. The one thing you can count on is it's not going to be boring. And that if you're playing somebody really strong who plays the French, and if you're playing somebody weaker who plays the French, that's a good thing. You want a complicated position. Sorry. So I have 29 points to go until the end of November. This time I'm going to make it. And after, okay, I'm not talking about my goal completion in advance. Okay, never mind. 29 more points to go. I need to concentrate. Last time I messed it up, and now I'm not going to mess it up. Stops g4, that's a good idea. Okay. But what does he do against queen g5? He would have to play g6. I don't want to play knight e5 because he can then play rook to e8, tactically works, because he has a tempo on my queen with rook takes e2. h3 followed by g4 should work. Maybe I should just renew my threat, because I don't see what he does to stop it. He doesn't have a move. He would get the h2 square, but my f2 pawn is sufficiently protected, more than sufficiently protected. After h3 he can go h4, that much is true. Yeah, okay, h3 runs into h4. That's true. So h5 is a good move. I need a new plan. I was also looking at knight g5, but then I guess he can just play rook f8. So candidates are knight g5, queen g5, a3, giving my king some luft, always a good move, knight a4. But I sort of like, I like queen to g5, because I can then go g4. Takes, takes. No, I don't want to go g4 there. So if I play h3, he's going to have to play h4. So I think that may be a useful tempo anyway. If he doesn't play h4, I play g4 and get the same idea of getting my rook into e7. If he plays h4, I want a tempo, and this pawn is more of a target. This knight doesn't have the h4 square, so... And I defend my pawn. In any cases where my knight moves, the pawn is not hanging. So h3 is a tempo gaining move, because he has to play h4. So that's fine. I mean, if I waste a move and he wastes a move, I didn't lose a move. He has to play h4. I don't know what he's thinking about. Has to play h4, otherwise g4. And when h4, g4, he can take en passant hg3. What? Okay. So g4, h takes, knight h6, threatening to take my g4 pawn. But then rook e7. Should I give up my g4 pawn to get my rook to the 7th rank? Well, if I start with knight a4, so, okay, rook e7 is very strong if I can get my knight into c5. So what I'm looking at is knight a4, and I don't know what he does. If he plays b5, I'm going to play knight c5. So knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, rook e7 is maybe not enough. Surprising that he allowed g4. I thought g4 was just good. So g4, hg, hg, knight h6. My g4 pawn is attacked. Rook e7, knight takes g4. Knight a4, b6. So knight a4 is maybe too slow because he has b6. So g4, h takes, knight h6, rook e7, knight takes g4, when he takes on g4, he can retreat the knight back to f6, so that's not a good plan. I missed that. Okay, so now what do I do? If I go knight e5, he's going to go rook d8. Do I want to trade off these pieces? Well, maybe I do. So knight e5, rook d8, takes on d7, knight e5, rook e8, takes on d7, rook takes on e2, queen takes on e2, I guess queen takes on d7, and what then? Knight a4? I don't know. Maybe I should try probing his position with knight g5. I mean, that's always an okay move. He's probably going to play g6. That seems useful. Yeah, I'm going to do that because he has to do something. f6 is not a good move. My knight is much better on g5 than on f3. And I can also go f4, even though that's risky, leaving the e4 square undefended. If he goes knight f6, but for the moment he doesn't have knight f6. So this is just an aggressive placement for the knight, which I like. f6, of course, runs into knight e6 check and wins the exchange. So he can't chase my knight away. And now also rook e7 is way more powerful because it's not a sacrifice of the g pawn, it's a trade for the f7 pawn because my knight is also attacking f7. I think both of us are using our time wisely. I think that's a good thing. Usually in these games, at least one of the players rushes the position. I think both my opponent and I are playing using our time wisely. Now the problem for him is his rook is tied down as well, so he can't move the f-pawn, he can't move the f-rook. I mean, that's a problem, because if he moves the rook from f8, I just take on f7. And now you can see why h3 was useful, just not losing my h2 pawn. I think knight g5 is just aggressive. It doesn't really do anything, but it puts my knight on a better square, which is important. And now I am going to go g4, h takes, knight h6, and I'm going to go f3. Defending my g4 pawn. Okay, now he stops that. Okay. Maybe I should have played g4 last move. Maybe. Okay, what happens if I just attack his knight? What does he do? Does queen d3 improve my knight, my queen, or not? I think it does. Queen d3 should improve my queen, because if I go knight a4 and he plays b6, my queen has a6. So let's attack his knight, see what he does. I'm not losing my knight, because if queen f4, I have queen d7. But I'm losing a pawn. Okay, no, I'm not. This is such a bad move. Why did I do this? I miscalculated it. I'm not losing anything, but I'm allowing rook to e8. Stupid again. This is such a blunder. Okay, so queen f4, queen d2, queen takes, and he has rook e8. And if I go king takes, he takes, knight takes d4. This is just a horrible move. Why do I play stupid moves like that? I completely missed that he has rook e8. Queen f4, queen d2, queen takes, rook e8. Why am I so stupid sometimes? Okay, no, it's not so bad. He doesn't have rook e8 because his f7 pawn is hanging. Okay. It's a blunder, but I got lucky. Moving my queen from the perfect square. Idiotic. Maybe he thinks this is a trap. So takes, rook e8, takes, rook takes. Knight takes f7, and if he plays rook e1 check, I can cover with the knight, because then my d4 pawn is not hanging. So may not be over, may not be a blunder. Sorry, over. I was afraid of blundering into an equal position, not into a losing position. May not be equal still. At least I'm making him think. Sometimes bad moves can do that. And again, I'm calculating b6 and queen a6, and I miss queen f4 check. He's getting low on time. He needs to start playing faster. 2.5 minutes is not enough for this position. Definitely, even if we trade queens, practically he should trade queens, because it's going to be easier to play with 2 minutes on the clock without the queens. Furthermore, where does he retreat the queen? He takes there? Okay, I did not calculate this at all. I don't think this is good. Wait. So takes, knight takes, rook e7, knight f5. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I didn't think this was good. This is allowing me too much activity. Because now knight f5, rook takes f7, rook takes f7, knight takes f7, rook to e8 is impossible, rook to f8, just knight g4. His knight is on f5, so f2 is not falling. I don't think he should have gone for this pawn trade. Queen d3 was such a stupid move. Okay, rook takes f7 doesn't work. Knight takes f7 doesn't work because he plays knight f5 and I lose a knight. Rook to e5 doesn't work because he takes it. Well, he doesn't take it, but he has f6. And then knight e6 is tricky. So I think f4 is the best move. f4, knight f5, rook f7, rook f7, knight f7. Yeah, okay, f4. I'm going to play f4. I don't think I'm allowing any more tricks. This was a very good move. Queen d3. I wonder how big of a blunder it is. I would say that white was more than +1, and after queen d3, black is minus 0.5 or minus 0.7. I think I have to play knight a6, trade off the knights. And then if he plays rook f5, I'm going to take here and play rook e7. If he plays g6, then I'm still going to play rook to g7, and my goal is to double my rooks. I don't have time to threaten knight a4, knight c5, because he can play b6. Should I just defend first? Should I defend first? I think I should, because then my knight is coming in. I want my knight to come in. Takes on g7, takes on f4, rook e7, rook to d8. Knight a4, b6. So let's defend my pawn first. I want to defend. I don't want to be giving up pawns because knight a4 is nothing. Knight a4 doesn't work. I want to defend stuff first. Okay. Okay, so rook h5 or rook h7 or rook g7. I really don't mind him taking that pawn. I guess rook h7, because after knight d4, his rook will have to move, and it will have to move to g7. Okay, so rook h7. Now he needs to be careful. He is a pawn up. He is about to be 2 pawns up, but his rook is about to be locked down on d8. That's not good. I'm sorry for not talking. I'm trying to put as much pressure on his position when he is in side knot. I think I did manage to win this. He should be losing a piece now, or more. Still, queen d3 is a mistake which I should not have been forgiven that easily. So how do I stop the checks? Knight here is check, knight here is check. So Okay, let's just go here. Okay, takes. Yeah, I mean his position is lost. Shouldn't really keep playing on. A rook down, and I'm about to get my rook behind. When I get my rook to e2, it's going to be game over. I don't know. Here. I just need to threaten checkmate and get my rook anywhere here. He doesn't have time to defend because he can't get to the F file. I need to prepare a larger glass of water and a larger cup of coffee for the game. This was too little. Yeah, so I would say that queen d3 was a horrible blunder, and he had more than equality, but then, yeah. I just messed up with queen d3, and he should have punished me for that. I'm sorry for whoever is challenging me. I'm not going to accept because just let me answer him. Sorry, he is. We speak the same language, so we just had a chat. Okay, let's look at the analysis of the game. Okay, so e4. Sorry, I'm going to be declining your challenges because I'm analyzing the game. Okay, so this idea of knight c3, as you can see, the engine doesn't really like. It thinks that black is equal, which is okay. It's not like black is better. So, okay, yeah, queen c7 is a loss of tempo, as I explained. So that was a mistake. Bishop d3, castles queenside. The engine doesn't like it, but what can you do? But yeah, this bishop, allowing bishop f5 and this check was a mistake, misplacing his king. Plus 1.5, rook e2, h5. The engine likes knight a4, okay. h3 a mistake because queen h6 trading the queens. Okay, rook f8. Knight g5 is a mistake because of queen f6. h4 is a mistake, and now queen d3. Queen d3 is horrible. My evaluation was white is +1, which is true. After this, black is -0.5, which is his -0.8. So queen d3 is just a blunder of all blunders. Let me just say that in the chat. Queen d3 was horrible. Okay. Queen d2. Yeah, I don't think I have any other moves, but queen d2. Queen takes d4, queen takes, knight takes, rook e7, and now rook h5 and f4, and it's almost equal. f6, knight e6 is correct, takes. Rook f5 is passive, knight e2 is correct, g5, rook h7 best move, okay, good. And now king c8. King c8 is weird. King c8 is very weird. Loses the tempo. And now after knight d4, what? How is this not winning for white? Takes, takes. Ah, he has to trade. He only gives up the exchange. Okay, so here he only gives up the exchange once I take. Once I take. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So this would have been hard to win. 2 pawns and not easy. Not easy. This is not easy. Rook f1 is horrible. I wonder if I missed a quicker mate. I probably have missed a quicker mate. I just didn't care. It was mate in 4. Yeah, I should have just I should have just mated him, but I kept on taking pawns. Horrible technique. Yeah, okay. Horrible technique. Okay. Still, thank you for the game, Leo in Fabula. I think it was a good game. I think you should have punished queen d3. And I think you need to prepare something against this setup in the exchange French. It's a setup that not many people play, but it's very fun. Sorry again for declining the challenges. I'm doing the video and I can't accept. Okay, so let me know what you think about the game. Thank you very much for watching. Let me just see how many rating points I have left until goal completion. Just won 8, so 21 points to go. Woo! 21 points to go. That's very good. Okay, thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.